Hey folks, pleasure, welcome back to another Poem Master video, and as usual, let's kick this off with some daily discount summons that are so far really bad. I waited for that one. Actually, I just didn't know what to say. I was trying to describe them, but I mean, there really isn't much to describe them. That are slightly cheaper than your regular summons, but they also cost big gems. I don't know. Whatever. Hi, Agatha. I really want some Steelix dupes, man. From this banner. Not Steelix, but I'll take a 5-star power up, I guess. Anyways, if you guys haven't subscribed already, make sure you do so. I mean, you don't have to, but which is why I don't know why I said make sure, but I don't know. I'm trying to learn from other YouTubers who are much more professional, I guess. Although I think I'm doing okay. Anyways, yeah, subscribe if you want, you don't have to. Like if you want, you don't have to. Watch a video if you want. I'm kidding, you have to watch the video because you're looking at it right now. Anyways, I mean, I'll take those daily summons. We got one 5-star power up. It's not terrible. And we got like, what, 2 4-star power ups or something like that. Anyways, let's get into the video today. So, discussion time about Sogaleo. Whoops. Wrong legendary. About Regirock's Legendary Arena, right? So let me reset that first. So Regirock's Legendary Arena is definitely the hardest. Does that mean, you know, you can't easily breeze through it with like a, you know, 3 out of 5 Steven Metagross, or I don't know, whatever, right? That completely counters this Legendary Arena. No, that's not what it means. What I mean by that is if you're trying to beat it without any Gotcha Sync pairs, slightly tough, right? Is there a completely free-to-play method to like beat this with like no Gotcha Sync pairs at all? Yes, there is, right? Ultra Necro on our Discord actually beat it with this team. Barry, Skyla, and Misty, right? Here's the thing though. Even as a fully free-to-play team, they're all like 3 out of 5. They all have lucky skills on them. Misty has Vigilance, Skyla has Vigilance, Barry has Crit Strike 2, and then you have to have really, really good luck on your potion NPRs. So is it technically doable, fully free-to-play? The answer is yes. Is it realistic? I mean, it is realistic if you have like Vigilance on both Misty and Starmie and Skyla and Swanna. Have them at 5-star, then have Barry also at 5 stars and have Crit Strike 2 on it. Which I don't even have, right? I mean, why am I rolling Crit Strike 2 on Barry? Yeah, when I don't have that many luck. Yeah, it's not realistic. It is, again, it is technically doable. If you have those, I mean, congratulations, go for it. You know, give it a try, right? Sync Nuke, Barry build, you know, support Starmie and support Skyla build. Yeah, you could go give it a try if you have those built up. And if you roll those lucky skills on them. I didn't, and I'm pretty sure most of you guys don't either, right? So we're not going to do that, right? You know, no point for me to go over something that most people probably don't have access to. So let's talk about our options. So now it basically is, okay, we can't do it fully free to play. Can we pull in some, you know, gotcha units to make it help? So there are multiple ways. There are a lot of ways that you could beat this Legendary Arena, right? There's multiple ways that you could beat this. However, again, they all require some stuff, right? Certain requirements. And it really just depends, you know, how you beat this thing really kind of depends on what sync pairs you have, which is why I'm not going to do like a run through, because again, there could be multiple different teams that you could go through that could make this run work. I'm just going to talk about some options here, right? So for most folks, right, unless you have, you know, something really, really great that could just blow through this in one team, for most people, you're probably going to be using 2 to 3 teams, right? Hopefully under 3 teams. So no 4th team, so you get the medal and stuff. So yeah, most people probably under 3 teams to beat this thing, and we'll talk about it. So for the first health bar, right? So the first health bar is grass type, the second and third are steel type, which is actually nice. It's much better than the ones that, you know, are like, first it's one type, the second gauge it just switches back to another type, and third gauge switches back to that first type. It is much easier, you know, team-wise and all that stuff, right? Although probably the easiest would be if it's like the first 2 gauges, HP gauges, are the same type and the third one switches. But anyways, regardless, you know, it's not the worst. And we'll talk about this. For the first gauge, it is grass week, so there are a lot of options here, right? In terms of, you know, grass type, sync bearers, strikers, damage dealers overall, right? You could use, you know, obviously Sceptile, new and improved Sceptile. You could use that, or probably don't even need the gridded Sceptile. Just take out the first gauge, right? You can use Sceptile over here. Probably Roserade, right? Sceptile, Roserade. Vileplume could work here as well, right? Vileplume, I was trying to beat it with Vileplume and actually got, you know, a lot of success with it, right? Running a Vileplume with, I was trying to, again, you know, do a fully free-to-play run before, but Vileplume just couldn't beat the whole thing, unfortunately. But yeah, Vileplume with, like, something like a Crit Striker, like a Torchic, or, you know, I don't know, some crit, I guess Torchic's only crit / special attack buffer. It's not an Eggmon, right? That's also, you know, free-to-play, right? So Vileplume plus Torchic plus any kind of, like, healer to keep Torchic / whoever alive for a while, right? Something like an Onyx or Skyla, whatever. Although probably you might want to save Skyla for a bit later, for like the second gauge, just in case you need it, right? But yeah, Erica could work. Erica with Paralysis Synergy, right? Energy Ball, Move Gauge, Refresh, Energy Ball power-ups, all that stuff. Should do, you know, do relatively fine over here. Venusaur, you know, Striker Venusaur grid should, that's not a Striker Venusaur grid, but, you know, if you do make a Striker Venusaur grid, it should breeze through the first gauge, HP gauge relatively easily as well, right? Dawn could probably do it as well. Again, we have a lot of options grass type wise. Not sure about Ho though. Ho just kind of, the defenses, I mean, it dies relatively easily, and you just need a lot of stuff for it. So yeah, that's gonna be the thing over there, right? There really isn't anything you have to look out for the first move pull, right? I mean, most of like the crit immunity stuff, the stat decreases, the whatever else Solgaleo does, the crits, all that stuff. Like, you don't really have to worry about that until like the second or third gauge. I guess you kind of have to worry about the crits. I mean, you know, it does all that stuff, except it's just not like that big of a deal with your first team. Yeah, but yeah, if you have like another potion user that has NPR and potion, your Torchic / whatever else crit / special attack buffer you have should survive, right? Again, stuff like a Torchic, like a Sabrina, Meganium, Singsu Lisa, all these are good options, right? If you have them, those are good options, especially if, you know, your Lyra is 3 out of 5 or your Sabrina is 2 out of 5, right? Very, very good options. But if you don't, again, Torchic works fine as well. Just kind of sort of hope Vileplume crits on the sync move, which 50-50, right? So, anyways, so that's for the first move gauge. The second, not move gauge, first HP gauge. The second and third HP gauge is where it gets a bit tougher, and there's a bit more things you have to look out for. So once it uses the Iron Defense, and you'll see that in the first gauge, right? When it gets lower HP, it will use Iron Defense, even if in the first HP pull. But again, don't have to really worry too much about that. It will be using stuff like guaranteed crit rock slides, which you have to watch out for. It will be using stuff like Iron Defense, which then puts up a crit shield that you also have to slightly worry about. It also decreases, you know, your whole team's like attack by 4 stages, which is really annoying. So stuff like that kind of sort of limits our options a bit, right? In terms of steel type strikers, again, like I mentioned before, if you do have like a 2 out of 5, at least, I mean, 1 out of 5 Steven is really bad. But if you have like a 2 out of 5 Steven, right, at least, or 3 out of 5, you should relatively easily breeze through this whole thing. so don't have to worry too much about that. If you have Steven, Steven destroys this Legendary Arena, right? But if you don't, there are other options, don't worry. Solgaleo is a decent option here. Okay, here's the thing about Solgaleo. Solgaleo does not do any damage. But the upside for Solgaleo, and why I do kind of prefer Solgaleo over stuff like, I don't know, Thorton or Wexstrom or Molayne, right? Is Solgaleo, because the opponent does decrease your physical attack by 4 stages, right? Solgaleo does have Impervious, so your stats can't be lowered, which does help, right? That does help. So if you're using Solgaleo, then you probably need a crit buffer for one, right? You do need a crit buffer. So something like, you know, something like a Phoebe. Phoebe would be nice, right? Phoebe also nice because Phoebe has Vigilance, by the way. So if the opponent does attack you, and again, this guy crits a lot, you're at least protected from crits. So that definitely helps. And also Phoebe gives you move gauges, which Solgaleo also kind of needs because, dude, you know, very, very heavy on using move gauges at the beginning of the battle, right? And again, Sabrina also gives you crits. Singsu Blue, very, very great for this event overall. Gives you crits as well. Just make sure if you are tanking with them, give them Vigilance, right, for the passive skill, so you don't get crit, right? So again, stuff like Singsu Blue, Sabrina Alakazam, Lyra Meganium, Phoebe, Dusknoir are all really decent options here. Phoebe's probably it's between probably Phoebe and Sabrina are the best options. Oh, and Singsu Blue. Singsu Blue do need to get that MP refresh onto the top though, right? That's like the only thing you kind of have to look out / worry about. The thing with using Singsu Blue in this situation is Singsu Blue. Well, not just Singsu Blue and Phoebe, right? Both of them could also double for your tank as well. Sabrina not so much, because Sabrina's like physical. Like Sabrina has fantastic special defense, not that great physical defense. Mine's 20 out of 20 if you're looking at the numbers. Well, what the heck, is it really that high? No, it's pretty high, but mine's 20 out of 20. So you'd have to kind of worry about that. Obviously, you do have Reflect as an option, but that's more of you probably you'd rather not tank with Sabrina over here, regardless. So when you are sort of, going around shopping for tanks and stuff, right? There are 2 tanks outside of Singsu Blue, right, and Phoebe that are really, really good here, being Dawn and Steelix, right? Dawn and Steelix are fantastic here. Dawn has Vigilance as well, right, on her passive. She has Good as New. That's a full restore, right? That helps. X defense, all that stuff. Fantastic. Great physical defense, right? Good HP, all that stuff. Everything is fantastic here. The only slight issue is speed. So if you are running Dawn, you kind of need someone for speed, right? So if you're running Dawn, you probably don't want to run Phoebe as your crit support. You probably would want to run like a Sabrina or a Singsu Blue and hope you get enough MP refreshes to A, get enough crit, and B, give you enough speed for the team, right? And same for Steelix, also very, very slow, unfortunately. But Steelix does have Clang, which gives you, crit, which protects your team from crit, and yeah, right. So, and both give you X defense all as well. So these are again both really great options for tanks. As for like any healers, right? Obviously Skyla is the big one. Misty, but here's the thing with Misty. Misty doesn't really keep up with the volume because Regirock hits very, very hard, right? Like Regirock, and this is why it makes Regirock hard. Again, it's assuming you don't have Steven, right? It's like he just does like basically everything to make your life absolutely miserable, right? Hits hard, crits a lot, debuffs your stats, can't be put to sleep, right? Gets rid of, flinch, all that stuff relatively easily. Can't get its stats lowered. What else does it do? Has really good defenses. Like, it literally does, like, everything to make your life. I guess it doesn't, like, status you that much. That's like the only good thing that it doesn't do. But like outside of that, it just, you know, tries to destroy you, which is slightly unfortunate. Oh, another crit buffer is forgot to mention over here. Maylene. If you really don't have anything, I guess you go with Maylene. It's just kind of what's your tank, right? In this case scenario, like if you are running like where's Solgaleo? Let's throw the guy in here. If you are running Solgaleo, right? Your options, and if you don't have any like other great crit supports, if you're Torchic, you already use Torchic, right? Which I probably prefer using Torchic in like with Erica, and then I'll save like Maylene for Solgaleo. You could, you know, throw in Maylene over here, and then I guess you could do this and just hope you get unlimited potion MP refresh, which again, not very realistic. But something else you might want to explore is maybe Steelix, and obviously, well, tank with Steelix, and then just pick up recuperation on Steelix and just like heal every 3 turns and hope that's enough, right? Just sync with Steelix and just not sync with Solgaleo, which again, big issue here. You know, it's decrease your whole team's damage a lot, and probably you won't be getting through 2 HP gauges with this, right? Which brings us to, you know, eventually bringing in a 3rd team, right? So, oh yeah, also, I forgot to talk about Gloria. Gloria is fine here as well. The only like side issue here is Gloria doesn't get impervious, unlike Steven, right? So her stats are going to get lowered, her attack is going to get lowered, which slightly sucks, but on the bright side, Gloria can buffer attack like almost infinitely, well, basically infinitely, because every time you sync, you get laser focus back, right, which, you know, gives you +2 attack, right? So there's that, right? If we're saying, you know, if we're playing with Gloria, right, you know what, I haven't even talked about Steven's team yet. If you go with Steven, obviously you need a crit buffer, something like a Phoebe, or, yeah, let's just talk about Steven first. Something like a Phoebe, Singsu Blue with MP refresh, right? Or you know, again, stuff like Alakazam. What was the other one? You, right? Or again, if you really don't have anything, I guess Maylene. It's like you don't max it out though. But again, what can you do if your only other crit buffer outside of Torchic is Maylene? You gotta make do, right? What the heck? You can't really complain too much, right? And then on the other hand, you again probably would want something, you know, like a tank or healer, right, on the other side against something like Steelix or whatever, right? Although, you know what? Here's the thing with Steelix. You actually, never mind. Take it back. You can't run Steelix over here, because you'll have to sync with Metagross, right? If you really want to tank, I don't think you can tank with Metagross for this. Maybe you can. Maybe you can. You know, maybe something like you know, Skyla, have Maylene tank it again, hope the potions keep you alive. And if, you know, Maylene goes down, Skyla can take a few hits, and Skyla goes down, Steven can take a few hits, I guess. Something like that, right? And then for Gloria, it's basically the same stuff, right, for the most part. Gloria, though, Phoebe would be very much appreciated. Either Phoebe or, whoops, didn't mean to go Ghost. Either Phoebe or Singsu Blue, right? Because they could also, you know, give you more attack because, again, the opponent debuffs your attack, right? Either Singsu Blue or Phoebe. Obviously, Singsu Blue a bit better in this case. Phoebe not so much. And then on the other side, you could throw in, like, a healer or something, right? Something that heals. Skyla, obviously, the good option here. Although, like, the other thing about Skyla is, unfortunately, Skyla is weak to rock. So you do have to beware of like the crit rock slides, all that stuff, right? So that's a slight issue over there with Skyla. If you haven't used Onyx, yeah, you can use Onyx here as well. Sabrina, another option, right? So yeah, like, you know, just got all the healers in there, just got to make sure they survive. If it's Singsu Blue, right, if you picked up the both healing notes, throw in like a Misty in there, give that extra you know, support type skill, I guess, for one, and also the extra regen or a Singsuit Leaf, right? Stuff like that. They could all be good options. I forgot to mention Singsuit Leaf as a healer. Very good option, right? So, anyways, yeah, that's most of this, I guess. Oh, I guess Mew could also be another option as a tank, if especially, you know, if you rolled Vigilance on it. Wallace, decent tank, right? Again, kind of would need Vigilance. Like almost every tank, you kind of need Vigilance unless you just get like insane luck on your potion MPRs, right? Or else you do kind of need Vigilance for the second part. And yeah, anyways, that's me with this one, I guess. Just again, just some general ideas, some stuff, you know, throughout there. Oh, forgot to mention, Wickstrom and Mullane. Obviously, Wickstrom and Mullane, decent options as well. Especially, you know, maybe, you know, if you didn't complete it with the second team, right? If your second team was like a Gloria, or although Gloria should probably clear it. If your second team was like Solgaleo and you just couldn't finish with Solgaleo, you can maybe finish it off with either a team around Barry or a team around Aegislash. Just make sure, you know, when you're using, if you are using Aegislash and the opponent is about to use a sync move, just King Shield and tank it, right? If you don't King Shield, you're probably gonna die. This guy's defense are not the greatest when in sword form, right, or blade form. And Mullane, you could probably try that too. Yeah, Mullane, you would need a bit of support, offensive support, than you would for Wickstrom, so there is that to keep in mind. But yeah, anyways, that's me with this one, I guess. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know, guys, think in the comments down below. Like and enjoy this video, and channel for some more Pokemon Masters content. Regirock Legendary Arena is fun, right? Glad they finally, you know, added a bit of challenge to this, to Legendary Arenas, which is well appreciated. So, anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one.